Good morning, YouTube. How are we doing today? So, there's a lot I'm about to start to get into, but as you're looking at right here is one of these brown spots I've been seeing on apples for a while. You may think this is a bruise, or you may have seen these too. Now, this is a mild example, okay, but I took this one months ago because this has been going on for a while. I figured, because the last couple of years, actually quite a few years, I figured it was Fukushima, because most of the apples that I see with this kind of thing are from the northern hemisphere, from especially Washington State, which of course we've stayed away from as much as we can, but you can't always get South American fruit. I wish I could tell you where these were from, but I'm pretty sure this one's state, and I think the states, and I think the one of the others is Argentina, but I'm not sure. So, I mean, really, that it's neither here nor there for this video, anyways. So, oh yeah, I forgot I was supposed to be like this, right? So it's gonna flip in the middle. Should I even redo this? Nope, I'm not gonna. You guys love me enough if you're watching this, at least. Which is another thing I want to get into soon too, is I know a lot of you are over here because sky watching and that sort of thing, but I'm gonna be doing a lot of this other stuff, and one of the main videos that I did on this other stuff has 1 view still, and I was wondering why it was shadow banned. I even had a friend go check it out, and that was after the 1 view. No views registered, except for the one. And so tonight I listened to it, and I know I'm digressing big time from the subject of the video, but bear with me, because hopefully, if everything goes right, this channel is about to get a lot busier. And I'm sorry about the train in the background. I'll take a little time out real quick. So, anyways, gather my thoughts. And I noticed tonight when I listened to it at about 3 minutes in, I say, our Savior, JC, but full name, and I'm not saying it now because I'm pretty sure the algorithm's flagging it for that reason. And if not for that reason, some pretty deep existential reasons beyond that, because that's one of my better epiphanies that I've actually recorded, and definitely a early AM sleep deprivated type of transcendental knowledge, or organization of the knowledge. So anyways, I'm hoping to get people to go check it out, because that's along the lines of things that are going to start coming out from me. If you haven't known already, I'm a space traveler. I've left my body literally, died, had had accidents from the mouth and the other end, stiff as a board. And I know this because it was recorded back in the day. Anyways, and quite a few other times now. And we're getting to that point soon where the warriors of light are going to start spreading their wings, so to speak, literally and figuratively. And hopefully I'm about to help with some of that. So if this platform will let me, and if not, I'm going to start DLive streaming soon, which is another thing I want to talk to you guys about, see if you're down with that. So anyways, let's get back to the fruit, because I'm sure if you're here for that, you want me to shut up about everything else. Anyways, so I'm wondering if other people have had these experiences and also observe these strange and odd characteristics of our fruit now. That wasn't like that before. I used to work in bars more than half my life. I was a bouncer, security. I've been bar back when I was younger. Bartender. I ran like 110 person capacity lounge. 110 capacity lounge up above a restaurant in Ithaca, New York for a while. So I've been around a lot of lemons and limes, and I've prepped a lot of lemon and limes for drinks. And currently my alright, I'm not even gonna edit that out. Let me just, I don't want to go on that track. Anyway, so I've cut a lot of lemons, cut a lot of limes, and I've been around them obviously for decades. Like 42, almost 43 now. They're different. Lemons have had all these crazy seeds, a crazy amount of seeds or huge seeds, and they're grown more odd to one end, and you'd get the occasional one like that back in the day, but now they're mostly all like that I've seen. And then the actual rind is thicker, very much thicker, and seems to have less fluid content. So, it's much more dehydrated than they used to be a lot of the times. What I'm thinking on that part, because the grapefruits have been the same way, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. Ridiculous. And I'm thinking it's the nano coatings that they're using. And if you're not up on that, you can go to Plain Truth 2, because I yoked his first channel, and he's got some good stuff on nanotech foods and that stuff. And there's no regulation on these coatings, and that's where we're getting a lot of these fibers and stuff. But if you think about it, they're putting this nanotech on the food so it doesn't spoil, so they can ship it further and have it stay on the shelf longer. And I believe that's why. I'll get back to the apples in a minute, because now we got to talk about this. Okay, here's one of the seeds from the grapefruit, and some of you may know from talking to me in chats and stuff, I am a big advocate of kratom, and I take kratom almost every day. I drink teas, and grapefruit is an expungiator of the alkaloids. First of all, you need citrus, which is another thing. I want to do a tutorial on making really good tea. It tastes like shite, but it's very potent, does the trick, whether you're doing certain strains for energy or for pain. And that's another thing, if you guys want me to talk about that. One of few people I think that actually has a wide range of knowledge on the different strains and effects, at least a dozen or so. Anyways, and now a bunch of them are made up. But so I make tea with grapefruit every day. Sometimes I will juice the grapefruit ahead of time, but my citrus juicer, it's definitely for oranges, but not for grapefruit. Oranges, lemons, stuff like that, but it's large size, but not for grapefruit. And so a lot of times I just squeeze the juice out. I'll cut the one end, use that for a tea. I usually use a few tablespoons, and I'll put the other half in a Tupperware in the fridge. Well, one day I pulled out a grapefruit. Oh, hold on one second, bear with me. I'm gonna drink of water and hit my vape. But so I pull out this grapefruit to juice it, and I had been using it for a couple days. So probably about 2, maybe I cut it in a night and it was 2 days later. But it was getting down to the end of giving me enough juice for a tea. And when I folded it over all the way, and this is another reason why I've noticed the the way the rinds are, the peel on these citrus fruits are so dry, the grapefruit would actually break. And it would break into like 4 pieces. And it would do that if it was fresh, because I've juiced them all at once too by hand. And it does it more so, of course, a day or 2 later. But so when it broke, what did I find but this? I was gonna say, I shite you not. The grapefruit seed, and this isn't obviously this one. The grapefruit seed had not only sprouted, but had grown into the bottom of the peel. You see here, and you see how it ripped, or tore, broke, however you want to say it. I didn't rip it. I mean, yeah, I squeezed it quite a few times for a couple days, but the peel easily broke and disfigured probably a long time before this picture. And so the first thing I did, you might think, well, duh, it was in your fridge, it's dark in there, you put a lid on it, so you got moisture and dark. That's how you sprout things. So I looked up the germination period for a grapefruit. And I guess I should have pulled that up and had it switched over to that, but you guys can look it up yourselves. I think it's like 10 to 15 days. And granted, that is in soil. So it's, gotta do this. I guess I could do this again. You guys won't be bummed. It's gotta do this first, and then it's gotta travel through the dirt like it does for this. It's got to travel through the dirt and turn around and go up. That's usually how a seed will grow. It'll grow down, then it'll go up to find light. This, however, okay, so you're telling me within 2 days this grew down into the peel, right? You're telling me within a day or 2 I got that. You're telling me within a day or 2 I got that, right? But that's not the only one. So after this one, so here we are. This one, and this is obviously the one I got that seed out of on the left. You see right here, this guy. That's the one I pulled out, and he's just starting to germinate. But this one is just like the other one, where it grew down in. See, look at how much green is there. I cut this fruit not even 24 hours before. So you're telling me within 24 hours this thing has germinated and already started putting its taproot into the rind. And that's normal? No, this had to be a process that was either, my guess is, started because these fruits are so old and the seed it's been in there, it's just like it's starting to rot from the inside out. And trust me, these grapefruits don't smell great. They don't taste great. They actually have a kind of a rotten essence to them sometimes. And if it's too bad, obviously I don't use it, but these are the larger, I think the other one was a larger grapefruit. I don't think this one is. And I've had it with Sunkissed, and I've had it with another brand too. And I wish I knew what that was, but either way, it's not right. And so I'm thinking maybe the nano coatings are causing, because these things are so old, we're getting them. It should be rotted and in the ground by now, which is when they start to do this. That's how they propagate. That's how they grow new grapefruit trees, new orange trees, and apple trees. So I wanted to put this out there. Plus, I wanted to hear what other people's experiences are with these fruits. So hold on now. Now we go back to apples, right? So here's a simple little one, and you'd think it was a bruise, but actually, and of course I peel mine because the wax and the pesticides and everything like that. I don't want my son eating, and I wouldn't want to eat it either. I haven't for years. Um, but the nano coatings now and the nanofibers that, and gosh knows what else is getting trapped on there from the aerosols and what have you. So I peel. So when I'm peeling, you get your bruises, but you get these spots, and it's like a mushy brown. It's like it's rotting just in that little spot. And I have paid attention to I've there's a better shot of that same one. I've paid attention to the peel, the actual apple skin. I've paid attention as I peel, and even without bruising, you get these spots. It'll be perfect, and I peel away. Some of them are more rotten than others, and some of them are deeper than others. Some are easily scraped off with the peeler. Some you have to cut out, like these. And this is why I took pictures of this one. This is just a week or two ago. But this has been going on for years, but it seems to be getting a lot worse. And, initially I thought it was just radiation, but I'm thinking it might have something to do, again, with the nanoparticulates, but also with how our sun is burning other foliage and everything. But I tend to lean towards some sort of on the bacteria side of things, I guess, or on the particle side of, radioactive particles, something like that. Tell me what you guys think. Here's a real nasty one. And it's almost like a chunk, like a gritty peanut butter sometimes. If you hit it with the peeler while you're peeling the first time, or if you try to just peel it off, when they're deeper, it will peel out this kind of peanut buttery apple. You can almost see it right here. Definitely see it. So if I hit that with the peeler, that would come out like a very, very soggy Captain Crunch peanut butter. Obviously, it wouldn't taste that good for being fake food. So here's, one of the worst apples. That is not a bruise. That is a big rotten spot underneath perfectly good skin. So now we move to grapes, which my son loves all fruits and veggies. I love that fact, and he grubs just about everything that we can get that's decent to make, or to cut up for him, what have you. So he loves grapes, and I've been, we wash all our food in Dr. Bronner's. If you get the Castile soap, it doesn't really, there are some flavor, or not flavors, but additional, there's like peppermint stuff. Some you don't want to really use for food, and certain fruits you have to be a little lighter with it and also soak less. But fruits like blueberries, so all you do is add, they say 3 to 5 drops, but I like adding, 5 to 10 drops. Get that water nice and milky. Blueberries, strawberries you don't do for as long, obviously, and don't cut them first. Grapes I love doing, but I'm finding the better way now, which I thought before I always took them off the vine, off the stems, because I felt, it got that area cleaner. Well, for the last few years, most grapes are rotting at the stem. And I know some areas it's too much moisture. I know there are plenty of blight and other funguses that attack grapevines. We're having a problem here in Ohio this year. Some of the vineyards, which, if you ask me, they make booty wine anyways. I lived in the Finger Lakes region in New York, which is, in my opinion, better than any California region for wine. But that's my opinion. And so I've seen a lot of problems with grapes here now. They're talking about having to replant, and they're talking, they can't spray because it's raining too much. If they spray for some of these diseases and funguses, maybe that's the same thing to them, but some of these problems, if they spray, it's washing it away too soon, and also they don't want to keep putting it in the groundwater. At least the good farmers don't. So I know that's a big problem right now in this year, but it's been a few years that the tops, look at this. Now this is a perfectly good grape everywhere else, but where the stem is, it's starting to rot. It rots. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, please. How many minutes am I in this thing? I can't even tell. Oh, there you go, 20. Yeah, 20 minutes without a vape, I think. I don't think I hit it yet. That's not bad. I'm trying to use this to quit smoking, so I'm also trying to cut down on that, too. One more, please. Thank you for hanging out with me this long. If you have hung out with me this long, and I'd like to hear about it too. I'd like to hear about your experiences. If you have any questions about anything I say, I know I hop around a lot. That's because I just have a lot going on right now. A lot I want to put out to you guys, but I'm sorry I've been so busy. Anyways, I'll get back to this. Well, let me digress back to, and you guys know I'm not monetized, and nor will I ever be. So I'm not trying to put out videos to make money. I'm not trying to get a bunch of subs. I don't know about the D-Live thing, but sure, if I can give stuff away, that's awesome. Do I want to make money? No. I don't need PayPal. I don't need a Patreon. I don't need you to donate to me, even though my life economically is shite and pretty much single parent. You know, I'm separated with my wife and all that stuff, but whatever. I'm not crying a river because I'll just have to jump in it. But I'm saying I'm all good. So everything I'm going to put out is to help you guys or to help spark other people to complete their puzzles as well, so we can all complete this puzzle and get the heck out of here, off this rock and out of this 3D HE double hockey sticks. So all these tops are rotten. That one I cut off right there because that's how I serve my son. Look at how gross that is up close. The stem is fully rotted here, and it starts to spread to the grape. Look at that. Almost everyone is like that now, and all different strains too. And I'm telling you, it didn't used to be like this at all. Not at all. And we know everything's changing. We know everything's shite. And I'm not saying this because, everything's going to heck. I want to talk about it. I haven't heard anybody talking about how bad the fruit is now. And, besides those giant bananas, I haven't had problems with the smaller organic bananas. But again, too, with apples, the Granny Smith, there's a GMO Granny Smith. It doesn't brown. It really doesn't brown. I mean, it may after, a day, but it doesn't brown for quite a while. And when it does, it's really light and odd. And you would know it right away. Well, they're selling organic GMO Granny Smith apples. From what I've been told, every time I research it, every time I talk to anybody that should know, they tell me organic cannot be GMO. Well, those are being sold as organic, and they're GMO apples. So stay away from green apples. If you really love them like me, I try to find the smaller organic, and I will cut it and let it brown. And as long as it browns, I'll eat it. But I've thrown some out too, because I've found them quite a bit from different places too. So heads up on that. I want to hear what you guys are seeing. Mangoes have been effed. There'll be this brown in there and like veiny. Either they're, they, as soon as they start to ripen, they are nasty. Some of them at random too. They just taste, and it looks like it's bruised from the inside, but it's just a funk that's rotting them from the inside, or they're starting to rot from the inside because they've been coated and they're from last year for all we know, and they got nano coating on them. I don't know. Let's figure it out. That's why I'm here. That's why my channel's here. Just let's figure it out. So I'm sure that's enough for now. Sitting at 25 minutes. It's almost a half an hour out of your time. I appreciate you being with me. Anything you guys want me to cover, talk about, answer, elaborate on, holler. I really want to get this conversation started, and I got a lot more coming up too. A lot more. Yeah, I won't even get into it. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Love, light, respect, blessings. And may